Welcome, everybody. We are back for what is our last webinar of the year, and I'm super excited because it is almost Christmas. We're all going to be kind of gearing down for the silly season, the holiday season, and we are super excited to have you here with us. And joining me today is Agency Director of Affiverse and my esteemed colleague, Leanna Klein. Say hi, everybody, if you can hear us.
Hi.
Drop us a quick message in the YouTube chat because that's where we will be able to answer your questions. So if you're joining us, we're really, really excited to have you here. We'll just wait a couple of minutes to get everybody on board, and then we'll kickstart what we think are the 7 deadly sins for affiliate marketing managers. Now, lots and lots to cover off today. As you know, if you've ever been on one of our webinars before, you'll know that we pack quite a lot in. So really, really excited to have you guys here. So let's just start with a little bit of housekeeping. If this is the first time that you've joined us, give us a hello, a wave. Come on over to the YouTube channel where we are looking at Q&A. If you're watching us on the LinkedIn live stream, it's great to have you here too, but we are not going to be able to take your questions from LinkedIn today. So if you want to ask questions, you want to stop and stick up your hand and get your questions answered, head on over to the YouTube channel because I'll be looking at your questions here on my phone. If anything switches off or you lose us, this is a live stream, so these things can happen. Just get comfortable, refresh your screen, and we'll come straight back up on the same link that you joined us in and or on the live stream on LinkedIn and YouTube. And if you need help, just stick your hand up and say hi, and somebody will come back to you in the chat and bring you back up to speed. So we don't want you to miss out on anything, and we really want to get this show started and get you guys thinking about the 7 deadly sins that we sometimes fall into as we are running our affiliate programs day in, day out. So before we get started, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what kind of industry you're working in, because we will try and tailor the content that we share with you today to cover these things, and also just give us a hi so that we can make sure that you are actually hearing us and seeing us as well. As this is a live stream, there might be a slight delay. So we just want to make sure that you guys are seeing us and hearing us. Jade, if you're with us, can you just give me a high five and let me know that people are actually commenting and seeing us? Hi, Chris. I see you've just joined. Thank you so much for letting us know that you can hear us. Right, let's begin. 7 deadly sins. I mean, it's all very exciting. Sometimes it can get a little bit crazy with us on webinars because we do get a lot of questions. But if you want to follow what we are talking about, if you want to link in with me on LinkedIn, or if you want to scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen right now, you will be able to get all the little freebies and things that we usually save till the very end. So thank you so much for being here. If you're joining us, tell us a little bit about who you are. Say hello in the chats. We're here to network. We're here to talk about affiliate program management, and we really want to understand where you guys are from, what problems you're currently facing, and how we can help you overcome some of these. So let's get chatting and let's get talking. So without further ado, a little bit about who myself and my colleague Leanna are. So we're both agency owners. We are affiliate program managers. We're entrepreneurs. I teach quite a lot of affiliate managers. Both of us have coached many affiliate program managers in our careers. We're speakers at industry events. And we're also sponsors. So we get out to industry events, we host industry events, and we want to help people to learn how to do affiliate marketing. I'm going to let Leanna introduce herself a little bit because I've been talking a lot, but we have been working together for a very long time. And we absolutely love what we do. So Leanna, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, how you got into affiliate marketing, and how we landed up running this business together.
Yeah, I've been in affiliate marketing now for over 16 years. I started in customer support, as a lot of affiliate managers do, and I saw this really cool avenue to build much stronger relationships and, be able to serve clients without just the few-minute phone calls that you get when you're doing customer support. So I saw this exciting opportunity. I moved over and I realized there's a lot more to it because as an affiliate manager, you're a marketer, you're customer support, you do administrative tasks, you're actually a BI person. There's so many hats that you wear as an affiliate manager. And I kind of fell in love with it and have stuck with it over the years. The wonderful thing about working for our agency is that we get to work with a lot of different brands, different product types, and different verticals. So I've had my hands in affiliate programs in B2B, SaaS, finance, iGaming, retail. So all sorts of different cool products and brands that we've gotten to work with and apply the principles of affiliate marketing. So I'm really excited to kind of talk through some of the very common mistakes that we make. We are calling today the 7 deadly sins as a fun way to kind of break them down and break them out. But yeah, I think hopefully you guys can relate to some of the things that we've talk about here, because it is very common, I think, for affiliate managers to fall into some of these common categories of errors, issues, mistakes. And of course, mistakes are the only way that you learn. So it's okay to make an error, but it's also nice to know in advance where the pitfalls possibly could be so that you can prevent yourself from ending up there.
One of the things that we decided to do just to make it a little bit of fun, because we're literally sick of seeing my face and everything, is we used an AI tool to create some pictures of ourselves today just to make us look a little bit like cartoons. But yeah, there's some really cool AI tools out there that can do great things if you don't have a professional headshot. It's amazing what you can do. We just went down a rabbit hole and thought we'd share that picture with you guys today. So who we are and what we do very quickly. So we're a media platform. We have an affiliate marketing podcast. If you haven't listened to the podcast, go download it on Apple iTunes and Google Play and everywhere else where it gets sent out into the Ethernet. We talk to some really interesting people. We are very, very lucky to be connected to many people in the industry, all with different viewpoints on how to run and manage and grow successful affiliate programs. And we like to share some of those learnings through our media platform as well for all of you guys to learn too. We're obviously an agency or an OPM. We, as Leanna said, we've been very lucky to work across multiple different industries in the 20 odd years that we've been working in affiliate marketing, that I've been working in affiliate marketing. And in working in all of those industries, we've learned lots of different things, like best practices, how to do things quickly, how to fast track campaigns, how to really leverage growth at the early stages of launching an affiliate program, having done that multiple times. And then we also run our own events and training program for affiliate program managers. So some of you who are on here might have already been on AMP, which is our training program. And then we have a really big virtual summit coming up on the 19th and 20th of March, which I will talk about a little bit later, because we have some amazing speakers coming on that event. And you really do need to get in and book your tickets for that if you want to come and learn from a global audience. And I really do want to stress that that's important, because we're all learning affiliate program management on the job, and we're learning it in the company that we are employed in to do it in a certain way. And when you get the opportunity to learn from people that are outside of your own company, outside of your own industry, that's where you start to find tangible things that you can actually implement in your own programs to grow. So do get out to virtual events, get out to as many events as possible, and network with other people in the industry, because that is one of the really big ways that you get to learn what's changing and happening in the world around you. So what we're covering in this session, if you're joining us, hit us up in the chat, because we will take questions and we will look at that on YouTube, not on LinkedIn. So if you've got questions that you want answered, we're here for the next 40 minutes to help you guys. But what we wanted to talk about today was the current sort of landscape that we're all operating in, where things are at right now. We then wanted to go into the 7 deadly sins that we think affiliate managers typically fall into, having also have fallen into them ourselves, so experienced this ourselves. And then also things for you to consider. And then just, I think Leanna's probably going to beg me to think about what my future trends are for next year, but I'll gladly share what my thoughts are on that too. And then just to round up this last webinar of the year that we've been hosting, and just spend some time with you guys in our community, because that's really what we enjoy doing. And we're privileged enough to take the time off to do that with you guys. So let's have a look at the current affiliate landscape. I mean, I saw this quote, and it really resonated with me, because I thought, in this current state where we are at in the affiliate marketing industry, and it doesn't really matter what industry you're working in, whether it's gaming, retail, fintech, travel, it is a very competitive marketplace. Okay, there are 107,000 companies worldwide that make up the affiliate network industry. So, and honestly, I think that that's a number that it could even be 3 times bigger than that, because we don't actually know what all the networks are, what all the tracking solutions are that are operating, SMBs around the world. So I think it's a massively growing industry. We've got lots of ecosystems that are popping up. around Amazon, Shopify, and just in general, like networks that are sub networks that are popping up as well that are gathering differentiated traffic sources. The affiliate marketing industry is also worth 27.78 billion by 2027, which is crazy because when I came into the industry, we were doing kind of like 10 million, 12 million 20 years ago. It has been an exponentially fast growth period, and we've all had to keep up with best practices, best guidelines, figure out how do we actually structure things, because we're literally learning to fly the plane and like sitting in it, flying it at the same time and building it at the same time. I think the affiliate industry is growing and has grown in the last 5 years by double-digit figures in percentages year on year, despite recessions and despite things that, impacted the world global economy in other ways like COVID and everything else. And yet, currently, still, the statistic is that 8 out of 10 CMOs still don't understand the space or this channel. So what does that actually mean? It means that we're all operating in a very competitive environment. We're all learning on the job, and we're all having to stand out or stand down. And thinking about how do you make a difference and how do you actually propel your affiliate program forward, it's a constant battle for all of us to do. And sometimes you get caught in that grind where you're actually just kind of going through the motions and doing the bits that you need to do and answering the queries and answering the emails, that you forget to think outside the box and you forget to like differentiate yourself and just take a step back and go, okay, what are we doing to stand out or stand down? So I wanted to start this session with that point and really get you thinking a little bit outside of the box, especially now as we're coming to the end of the year, where it's time to take stock and look back at what worked and what didn't, and really start to think about how are you going to plan your strategy for 2024. So it was kind of timely that we had this as our subject matter, and we really just wanted to start off by saying, one, you're in the right industry because it's the fastest growing industry that's currently out there in digital. Two, if you're looking for excitement, you're in for a wild ride because we're going to see a lot of changes happening next year, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on. And three, it's really time to start to differentiate yourself and double down on branding. Double down on how you're actually positioning your affiliate program instead of just looking at what you're offering to your partners. So we wanted to kind of start the session today before we get into the 7 deadly sins that we've experienced, and hopefully some of you might have experienced as well. And just get you thinking a little bit outside of the box so that you can start to position yourself differently for 2024. So anybody that's never heard of the 7 deadly sins, they're quite standardized. The first one is lust. The second one's gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride. And we've kind of positioned all of the 7 deadly sins against these categories. And what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the first one and then just give you the explanation of what it is in case you haven't actually heard of the 7 deadly sins, and then go into how we represent that into managing affiliate programs. So let's begin with the first one, lust, which is typically always looking at wanting something that you can't have or wanting something that that isn't relevant for you right now. And Lee, I'm going to pass over to you to read over.
Yeah, I mean, the textbook definition is intense, uncontrolled desire for something, and that is often at the expense of meaningful connections or ethical considerations. So that's where lust comes in. And I think if you think about it in that way, you can kind of already put 2 and 2 together in terms of where you might run into lust in affiliate marketing.
Yeah. So let's start off with that. I mean, how do you position that? So for me, it's about wanting to be on maybe the wrong types of sites because all of your competitors are there. So we get lustful when we go and do our competitive analysis and we see, oh, well, our nearest competitor is on this side. I need to be on that side too. Why is that a 7 deadly sin? One of the 7 deadly sins?
Well, it doesn't mean that it's the best partner for you. So you're looking at it with all of this desire because you see this mass amount of traffic. You see that one of your competitors might be on there, but you don't actually know how that partner's performing for your competitor. So you might go out there with all of this desire to attract this partner. Maybe you're willing to spend a lot of budget, and you come back with a partnership that doesn't actually work. You might also go into it, as the definition says, in an unethical way. So you might go into it thinking, oh, if I throw money at it, or if I ask for top positioning, if I get them to block out any other potential companies that they might work with, that I'm going to get all of the traffic from this site. And that's not necessarily the case. So I think If we look at things with too much desire, it takes away our ability to be reasonable and to really think through the numbers and to sit down and actually come up with a very solid game plan to partner with our publishers and our affiliates. So I would say, you just really need to kind of take a moment, take a step back when you do see a massive partner and you've made connection and you're excited about it. That's great, but make sure to take all the proper steps and go through your due diligence.
I mean, the other thing is speaking to affiliate managers, we're a certain type of personality type. We're go-getters. We want to go get sales. We looking at the next big shiny thing. And that can also be like, it's like a fly trap, it's like you want to go and get that big partner because somebody else has had that big partner and it would be great for you. But would it really be great for you? And how do you identify and figure out whether that partner is or isn't right for you? It really does depend on the life cycle of where your affiliate program is, because you don't have to be on every single big partner site in order to have a successful affiliate program. And you might be at a different life stage in your affiliate program or life cycle stage in your affiliate program where your budgets don't stretch to be on partners that can give you that kind of level of branding. And just because you're getting that kind of level of branding doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the ROI return. So thinking strategically about which partners you want to be bringing on board into your program and not letting lust lead you into making false decisions in terms of which partners to work with is often something that we get kind of caught up in because we get excited by the chase of nailing down that partner. So I suffer from that a lot. Like I look at all the shiny things, and I mean, you know this about me. You've worked with me for almost 16 years, but I love new things, new ideas, new challenges, new partners to work with, and I can see so many different ways to work with them. But you also need to have that practical aptitude of, is this the right time? Is it the right price point? Is it the right positioning? And really get back to the marketing basics before you get caught up in that excitement and that chase for lust.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you just need a day to think about it, to run the numbers, to decide how exactly this partnership works. What is it going to bring to both sides? And is it going to be long lasting and meaningful?
Take the emotions out of making the sales, because that's, if you think about going to like an auction house and you really want to buy that product or that house or that, artifact or whatever it is that you're auctioning or that you're bidding for, you can get lost in the moment of being lustful to have that deal and to have that campaign come to life. So really think about the due diligence of why do you need that partner and is now the right time, versus trying to go out and get that sale and have that rush of, oh, I've brought in the biggest affiliate that we've ever worked with, but then it doesn't actually deliver any results. And I'll hold my hand up and say that I've had those experiences where I've brought in really big publishers and it delivered nothing because it wasn't the right time, it wasn't the right place, and it just didn't work out. So steer clear of the shiny things syndrome. Have a look and do the due diligence in terms of what it is that you need to be doing to meet the KPIs of your program. And then try not to get caught up in the emotional kind of race to get that big deal, get that big sale, because it is part of our makeup as affiliate managers. We want to be able to go and grow programs, but it's not always possible to do that if you're competing against other people that have bigger budgets, different guidelines, different objectives for their affiliate programs. So I want to kind of ask a question. Has anybody in the audience actually ever had that problem with lust? And if you have, can you pop us a thing in the chat and give us an experience of where you actually suffered from that problem too and how that actually worked out for you? Now we're going to move on to the next one, which is kind of gluttony. And what we thought about here was kind of moving hard and fast and burning out. And Lee, I don't know if you want to read the definition of gluttony quickly before we get into the nuts and bolts of this one.
The thing about the 7 deadly sins is some of them can seem very similar. So when you think of lust, that's an intense, uncontrolled desire for something. But gluttony is where you actually excessively indulge. So you can indulge to the point of waste or harm, sometimes neglecting the moderation and the balance that you should have. And I think, as Leanne said, this does equate to burnout often for us as affiliate managers. So, we partake in our jobs to an extent where actually now we've done ourselves harm because we are no longer able to function in the same way that we were at the beginning. And you do need to take breaks. You do need to take steps back from your program. You do need to look at things with fresh eyes. As affiliate managers, we often are working with partners who are all over the globe. You're up at all hours. I mean, I've been texting while grocery shopping before and actually had to tell a partner, I'm sorry, but I'm grocery shopping now. I have to end the chat at the moment, but I'll get back to you in the morning. I think, we really do fall into this particular category quite often. I'm sure all of you can relate to this because I think I saw some people say hello who we've spoken with before, or we've met before, and I understand that this is probably a very common issue for affiliate managers.
I think burnout, it's one of the things that that can happen very early on in your career if you don't actually set your boundaries and you don't actually take the time to step away from work, because everything is on all the time and your programs are running 24/7. Like, affiliates don't stop campaigns just because they go to sleep. Everything is happening 24/7 around the clock. And what you want to do is you want to, early on in your career, just set the boundaries and the parameters of what it is that you are going to deliver for your partners, because unfortunately we still work in an industry where relationships matter, and your top performing affiliates are probably on WhatsApp or Skype, or they've got your direct telephone number. They're not emailing a support at email. And because we're such good relationship managers, which is part of being a really good affiliate account manager, we want to people please, and we want to be able to support our partners and give them the service and make sure that they're happy with our program, so that they stay loyal, and sales keep increasing month on month, and that you get an understanding of how that partner is building their business and can support them. But you do need to set your boundaries too, because too much of anything is always going to be a bad thing. It's going to be a bad thing for your relationship with your partner, because you might want to burn fast and hard and get all those sales in, and then that relationship fizzles out and dies and doesn't actually get the benefit of long-term gain. So especially in the gaming industry, we see a lot of affiliate managers will find a new source of traffic. They'll kind of burn it hard and want to buy every single piece of traffic that partner has. And it's actually not great for the partner to do that, because they're burning through their customer eyeballs in their database with the same brand over and over and just reducing their conversion rate. So rather look at building sustainable and long-term partnerships with your partners, so that you're not actually burning them out and burning yourself out by being overly focused on any one particular partner, and you're building sustainable growth in your program. Some of the other things that I think as well is that also when you push too hard, you can actually alienate people. So I've been in situations where I've tried to push too hard to make a sale, make a deal, and actually in the end, the affiliate ends up going like, why are you pushing so hard? Why is this being like forced down my throat so like fast? Why can't we take it slow and actually build? And that could be for a multitude of reasons, because you've got targets that you need to meet, because you've got budget that you need to spend before you lose it. And often in that process, you can actually alienate the relationship and find that people will walk away because it just doesn't feel natural and it doesn't feel organic.
So create a good work-life balance for yourself as an affiliate manager, and also ensure that you're creating a good back and forth give and take with your partnerships. I think that there are some tools that you can use in terms of creating a good work-life balance as well. So it is possible to give your partners the tools that they need up front and from the start, so that you don't have to continuously provide them with information, bits and pieces, marketing materials and tools. A couple of things that can really help that, so that it's almost like pointing them in the right direction from the beginning, or giving them a toolbox that they can use. You can do a really great welcome email that actually has a toolkit in it for them. And the other thing you can do is make sure your FAQs on your affiliate page are up to date. And these are two ways in which you can give your partners the ability to serve themselves, so that you aren't burning yourself out.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Another thing as well that we see quite oftenly is clients not utilizing the full capability of their tech, which also then impacts their time management, which then impacts their burnout, because they're trying to do too many things manually. They don't have the right reports. They don't have the right settings. They have to pull data and then segment it in an Excel spreadsheet. Like, none of that stuff needs to happen right now. If you've got the right tools, the right tech, the right onboarding infrastructure for your partners, so they can also learn to help themselves and not phone you at midnight on WhatsApp. And we've all been there. Like, I'm pretty sure anybody on this webinar can stick their hand up and say, yes, I've been phoned at an inappropriate moment when something hasn't gone quite to plan. We don't work office hours in this industry, and we tend to overservice our customers and our partners too, because we have to build that loyalty and that trust. So I think those are two very good ones that we've hit on so far. So let's move on to the third, if you can hit us up with the definition of greed.
Yeah, so I think we all know what greed is. I think we can all relate to having a moment where we're like, we really want that.
Yeah.
It's an insatiable desire for wealth, possession, power. It's often selfish, and you have an inability to appreciate what you already have. That's the definition of greed. And I think as affiliate managers, you almost need a little bit of it. Like, you need to be on the edge of greed, because you do want to have a desire for your program to do well. You do want to have a desire to get all of the best partners through the door. You do want to have a desire to see your numbers grow, but there becomes a point when it actually starts to become harmful to you. So I think this one's an interesting one, and we could probably do a whole webinar on greed and affiliate marketing.
Just go back to that definition quickly. What was the last line of that definition that you read?
So greed leads to selfishness and an inability to appreciate what you already have.
That is the key point on this one, I think, for me, is an inability to appreciate the affiliates that you already have. So often we get into the mindset, I need to find new partners, new publishers, new traffic sources, because that's the way that I'm going to grow my program. And let me tell you, I've had a hallelujah moment many, many times on programs that I've managed, where I have looked at the long tail and dug for diamonds, like literally gone back over the database, looked at inactive partners that have like skipped off 6 months ago, if not longer, and gone back to those partners and realized in the 6 months that they haven't been active with us, they've like 5x their business and can now come back and work with us. So greed is not about wanting more, getting more. Greed is about making sure that you're not overlooking the partnerships and the people and the relationships that you can actually get more from. And we do need to be a little bit greedy in terms of expecting more and wanting more from our partners, because that's how our programs grow. But I think doing it sustainably and doing it ethically is also very important too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we talked about this on another webinar, maybe a podcast, where we were talking about splitting your time. And, you do have to go after the new partners. You do have to maintain your program, the infrastructure, the administration, all of that. But you should be taking a certain percentage of your time and committing that to your existing partnerships. Even if all you do is every single week you choose 2 to 3 existing partners to reach out to, whether they're inactive or they're active and you think that they might be able to do more, or even if they're active and they're doing well, but you want to check in on them. But taking that and like kind of time blocking in your calendar where you're going to focus on the partners that are there, so that you don't get too tunnel visioned into going after your net new affiliates. I think it's really relevant, and it's a topic that's come up before for us.
Yeah. And the other thing as well is not getting greedy in the commercial negotiations either. There's 2 parts to this, because often we're asked, affiliates are asking for upfront fees. They're asking for listing fees. They want to get part payment upfront in order to get the campaign running. And our natural instinct is to negotiate down. We always want to get the best deal possible, because we're looking to improve the margins of our business and of our program. So I think being cognizant of the fact that sometimes there are going to be upfront costs for certain campaigns, depending on how the traffic is being delivered, and understanding that there needs to be a mutual agreement about what is relevant and suitable for that campaign. Sometimes we need to kind of look at that objectively, and understand how is the partner actually driving traffic, how are they going to be delivering the volume of the campaign, how long is the campaign going to be running for, and what are the payment periods. And I know payments is a big contentious subject at the moment in affiliate marketing, because some programs can't pay as quickly as other programs do. And it's very, very important that we think about things holistically when we're commercially negotiating as well, and make sure that we can meet the objectives and find a 50-50 solution to making campaigns work.
Yeah, we're expecting our partners to drive a lot of traffic, but we're not sometimes expecting to have to put in an equal amount of effort on our side. So
yeah,
I think if you have that conversation up front while you're doing the negotiation, that can be very useful.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move on to our next one, which is sloth. So tell us what the definition of sloth was.
I think sloth is, it's pretty obvious. It's apathy, it's laziness, it's neglect for your responsibilities. It can kind of lead to a lack of motivation or initiative. You kind of ding your personal growth with sloth. And I think when we get very well into our programs, sometimes we do become a little bit apathetic and we think, this is working quite well. The growth is already happening. I can slow down in this area or that area because it seems to be working fine the way it is. But we all know that the market changes.
The market changes very quickly. And depending on how your affiliate program is segmented, that can impact you very quickly as well. Because if you're highly invested in SEO sites and there's an algorithm change and all of a sudden your SEO partner traffic drops, how do you replace that? So I kind of want to attune sloth to complacency as well. Is that when everything's going fine, we don't need to push as hard for growth. And that can be a massively difficult thing to kind of bring yourself out of when things change very fast, and they do in this industry. And then you need to kind of get the speed wobble on again to kind of make that program growth come back again. So I think sloth is twofold. It's first of all, it's getting lazy in terms of saying, oh, well, we're growing 10% month on month and the company seems happy with that. Like, where are you looking to diversify and where are you looking to get out of those situations? But also it's in thinking outside of your current ecosystem. So a lot of the things that we see that change across different industries that we work in is that people become complacent when they're working in networks, because they go, oh, well, I'm in my network and I'm sending out 5 or 6 proposals a day, and that's growing the program nicely. But what happens if an affiliate that you really should be working with isn't in your network? Are you actually looking outside of that network to go and recruit partners in with the right traffic sources? And where are you finding those partners? Are you looking outside of your own industry? Case in point for us has been, we have found some amazing partners for the gaming industry in the retail sector, and brought those two partners together to understand how can their tech, how can their tools impact and work across different industries. And I think that's probably some of the gems that we've had in this last year in terms of growing our client programs.
I think as individuals too, we have to be careful about complacency. As affiliate managers, this position isn't really that old in comparison to other professions in the world. And so we should always be learning. So don't become complacent when you're in your position as well, not just in terms of your partnerships, but in terms of your own personal growth and your own training. I think it's important to keep reading new articles, understanding the market changes, trying different approaches, because as much as you think, oh, I'm great at this, you could potentially be better, or you could find an easier way to do it that's less time consuming. So complacency can play a part in our actual day-to-day lives as well.
It can also play a part in making sure that programs aren't properly segmented, because if you've got 10 partners that are already growing month on month, say 10, 15% each organically because their businesses are growing and they're investing to grow their businesses, is that enough for you to have world domination with your affiliate program? Should you still be looking at other partners? And if so, what other traffic sources should you be looking at? And this is where I really want to encourage you guys to go back and talk to other people in your teams. Right now, we still see a lot of affiliate teams operating in silos compared to other digital team members, so SEO, social media, paid, whatever it is. And I want to see more integration between the different departments within advertisers or within operators working cohesively together to leverage the value that the performance channel brings. It's great if your program's growing 10-15% month on month, if that even, and your company is happy with it, but could you actually be pushing the needle a little bit further? And when is the time to set some time aside to actually start looking at all of those things? So really not getting complacent in terms of chasing that growth, chasing out new customers, seeking out new niches that your affiliates can drive forward and test for you before you actually put money on the table to expand those channels. Anything else on sloth?
No, I think we've covered quite a bit there. Yeah.
Next one, wrath. Now I suffer from this a little bit. I gotta be honest.
Wrath is uncontrollable feelings, anger, rage, could result in destructive behavior or harm.
Okay, so how do we apply this to affiliate programs? So for me, this is really about getting emotional about things that go wrong. And when you get emotional about things that go wrong, you actually lose sight of the practical things that you can learn from that situation. Now, getting angry is never a good thing. And when you're dealing with people, emotions do run high. And your partners are people too. They've got things that they're dealing with in their businesses. Campaigns might not have gone the way that you had planned them. You might have done a big deal and the numbers haven't come in. Getting angry is the worst thing that you can do as an affiliate manager to get a result, to find a resolution. So it also impacts your emotional state and your mental state because you lose your focus. You lose your focus of what was the purpose of doing this deal in the first place and how can I recover from it if it hasn't worked. What about you, Lee?
In this case, you kind of need to be the mediator between your affiliate program and the partner, and you have to almost remain neutral in the sense that the best way to overcome a campaign that hasn't worked or a partnership that's not going in the way that you were hoping, maybe a partnership that hasn't brought in the numbers, maybe you've paid a fee to be seen on their site. The best approach to this is to ask a lot of questions because then they'll see it as you're not pointing a finger, but you're trying to figure out where things went wrong, and then come to the table with solutions rather than complaints. If you can say, hey, can we try this instead? Is it possible to switch things up in this area? How have you seen these types of campaigns work with other brands that you've worked with? If you come in with a very open approach and you have some very nice questions for them, which allows them to give you an explanation of where they see things have gone wrong or where they see things could go better. And you even, provide a couple of solutions in that conversation, then it's a back and forth and not, if you think about how you might argue with your partner in life, and if you approach them and say, hey, you did this, they're probably not going to take that very nice. So it's better to say, hey, this is the result of the actions that we've taken. How do we make this better? And so I think to avoid wrath, you almost have to disassociate yourself with the results of your affiliate program and be the mediator, be the problem solver in between your program and your partner.
Yeah, and that can be difficult because it puts you on the spot. So it really is a skill as well that if you're a head of affiliates or you're a head of a team and you're listening to this webinar right now, that's really a skill that you need to be distilling down into your affiliate account management team and really helping them to understand when they need to become disassociated emotionally and when they do need to use their emotions and empathy to actually get deals done. And it's quite, that everybody says that affiliate marketing is complicated, or it's not complicated, but it is complex. I think that's the saying that I heard the other day. And it's so true because you need to read every single situation and every single partnership and every single deal individually and then find a framework and a skill set that can help you to deal with stuff when it goes wrong. Anger is difficult in business because money is involved, but it really is important to learn how to remain focused and how to bring your partner back from the brink of and we've all had this. I never want to promote your program again. And back to the table where it's like, well, how can we do this better? How can we actually support you? And take the learnings from that experience and implement that back into your program to make it better.
I'd actually love in the comments, because I think we do have some publishers, some affiliates that might be listening to the webinar.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear the thoughts of affiliates and publishers on these topics that we've been speaking about, because often we look at it from program management perspective, because that's where we sit. But to put ourselves in your shoes would be an unusual benefit for us. So if you do have any comments, if you have any questions, anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to pop it in the chat. We'd love to hear your feedback.
We're on YouTube for questions. So if you're on LinkedIn, unfortunately, we can't see your questions today. But if you want to hop over to our YouTube channel and hit subscribe, you can put some of the questions in there. We'll be very happy to answer them. So let's get on with, I think this is the last one, which is envy. Might be one more.
There's one more after.
There's one more. Okay. So read us the description of envy.
So envy is resentment or coveting others' possessions, qualities, or success. It leads to bitterness, an inability to appreciate your own blessings. Envy is kind of similar to greed, I feel, but a little bit deeper. So it's not just a surface level feeling of, I want this, but envy is something that you really feel deep down in terms of resentment, and it causes a lot of issues. So I think as affiliate managers, it's and some of you may have experienced this and some of you not, but I know I have, where I've looked at another affiliate program and I'm like, oh, they're doing a lot of the same things that we're doing. We have a lot of the same partners. Our offering in terms of a commission structure is very similar. What is it that I'm not doing that they are doing, which is making them successful? And the only thing I could do in that case, in my experience, and might not be the same for everybody, was to put my blinders on and stop looking at what they were doing and think of our offering, our USPs, what I was able to do for partners, where my partnerships were sitting and how I needed to work on them. So I think it's relevant. Envy is relevant in affiliate marketing because you might on occasion see that there are other programs or products who are running very amazing programs. I wouldn't envy them. I would blaze your own path and think of your own product and how you can push it forward.
I love that. I think envy is a blocker to innovation. Envy is a blocker to innovation. It stops you from thinking about what makes you unique and puts you into a mindset of, I need to compete. And if you are forgetting about the competition and going your own way and blazing your own trail, like Leanna said, then you become more innovative because there is no box to work within. When you are looking at what somebody else is doing, you're putting yourself into that box and you're saying, I need to do what they're doing because they seem to be doing it better than me. And that's the biggest, I think it's probably one of the biggest, deadliest sins that affiliate managers can fall into, because it blocks your own innovation and your own creativity as an affiliate manager to go out and build partnerships that really matter for your business. So yes, it's great to look at your competitors to get a sense of what's happening in the marketplace around you, but limit that to there, to use it as intel and not as a way to compete with your partners. Because every single program that I've ever worked in over the 2 decades that I've been in the industry, I have never, ever had the same strategy, even if the programs were in the same industry. So, and Leanna, you can speak to this. You manage multiple different accounts and multiple different programs across the same industries. Are any of the campaigns and any of the strategies that get put forward the same?
No, they're all unique. And the way that starts is by looking at our customer avatar and also looking at our unique selling proposition. So every single product will have something that's a little bit different about the offering, because that's why you launched it. If you were going to launch, Nike, then you would try to copy exactly Nike, and it wouldn't work anyway because it's already out there. It already exists. They already have all of those unique selling propositions. So you are going to try to set your product apart. And so to really be successful with your affiliate program, you need to understand for your product, what are the unique selling points? And then for your affiliate program itself, what are the unique selling points? What do you bring to the table? And you also have to work back from your customer. Who are they? Who's your ideal customer? It could be multiple different ideal customers. And how are you going to reach them through partners?
The other thing that envy stops is opportunity. Because if you don't know who your customers are and you don't know who you're going to be targeting, you're actually targeting the same customer as everybody else, and that might not be the right customer for you. So if your budget is limited and you want to actually go and target new sources of traffic and new customers, get really granular about who your customer niche is, because you'll probably find that there's a whole bunch of partners that have cottoned onto the same idea as you, and they're actually trying to target that specific customer. And you might be able to get those customers at a much reduced price versus working with bigger traditional branding partners that may look like you should be there, but actually you shouldn't. And that comes back to the earlier deadly sin that we were talking about in terms of lust. So I think lust and envy are very similar, but one is about wanting what you can't have, and the other one is actually blocking your own innovation. And that's how I would differentiate these two according to running an affiliate program. So let's look at the last one, which is pride. Now, we all suffer from pride, like everybody's human. So tell us what the definition of pride is.
Yeah, pride is excessive self-confidence or an inflated sense of importance, often leading to arrogance and disregard for others' perspectives or contributions. I think there's a very obvious way that we can make an error with pride when it comes to affiliate marketing, and that is by thinking that we know our partner's audience better than they do.
Yes. And also by thinking that we are the best affiliate program in the world, and that partners should therefore think that too. When you're working in your own company, you are proud about what you build and about what you deliver and about what you execute and put out into the world. But that doesn't mean that other people feel that way too. So sometimes you can get into a call and there can be a little sense of arrogance, and it works both ways, both the affiliate side and also the account manager side, where it's like, well, obviously you want to be working with me because I'm the best of the best, but let that not lead you down the path of not being able to get a deal done, because emotions will get in the way. So pride is an emotional impact to how you deliver and perform in your role. And I think it happens both sides. Like, even if I was promoting Coca-Cola as a, top brand, I can never go into a sales call and say, well, I'm Coca-Cola. What are you going to do about it? Or I'm Nike, or I'm, whichever brand it is in the industry that you're working in, because that might not actually matter to the partner. They might actually not have customers that are interested in those brands. They might not even resonate with the brand and not want to promote them. So don't let pride stop your ability to build relationships with affiliates and to actually understand where the partnership can begin.
Yeah, and I don't let it stop you. Don't think that you know more about a publisher's audience than they do. Definitely ask them lots of questions, because sometimes I have tried an affiliate on one product and it didn't work very well, but that doesn't mean that they didn't hold up their end of the bargain, do all of the things they said they were going to do. And perhaps it just wasn't the right product for them to be pushing to their audience. Maybe they kind of clued me into that at the beginning. But I didn't really listen because I was quite prideful. And then I've gone back to that same partner and worked with them on a completely other brand, and it has worked incredibly well. There's a lot of nuance to customers and the segmentations that you're trying to reach. And so don't be too prideful to listen to your partners when they tell you, I think this will work better, or we may be able to help you reach these people, but not those people. Definitely, leave your pride at the door, because the conversation will be much more productive if you do so.
Well, and it's also, that's a really good point, Lee, because this is where transparency of data comes in very, very important. There's still a belief in the industry, unfortunately, 20 years in, that data shouldn't be shared with partners because they're only at the top of the funnel. They're only supposed to acquire the customer. But we've moved on since then. And some of the most successful affiliates are actually gathering their own first-party data and understanding where customers are spending money. And they've got data sets that can actually help create better promotions and create better conversions. So I think this is a very important, deadly sin that we do sometimes fall into, in that we think we're better than somebody else. And you can't get to a successful negotiation if you're not sitting at the table as equal partners and moving from that point forward to create a campaign that makes sense for both of you, commercially, incentively, from the administrative side, who's doing what. All of these things form part of that commercial negotiation and part of the success factor that makes your program successful and keeps other partners coming into it from the good experience that they've had. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, okay? So we've spent a couple of minutes now, 40 minutes or so, with you guys talking about how we have experienced the 7 deadly sins running affiliate programs. There's a couple of questions that have come in here that I just want to answer. How do you tell your bosses that their increased targets are not achievable? With many times without an increased budget, they just think, well, affiliates will earn if they push us more. It's a very common question, and I think it falls into the 7 deadly sins of, and possibly even pride, going, well, if they want to earn more, they'll promote us. That's not necessarily true. When you go back to the first slide in this webinar, where you see the competitive landscape and you see how many affiliate programs there are to choose from. So you really do need to be talking and educating your internal C-suite about the value proposition that affiliates bring to your business, and thinking about where does that value proposition add value to yours outside of the other direct marketing channels that you're working in. So there's a little bit of education on your part as affiliate managers to take your learnings back into your business and actually educate everybody around you. And that can sometimes be difficult too.
And I would say also, I mean, you have to be able to ask for what you need to get to the point where they want you to be. So if you need extra tools, and yes, budget, maybe they're saying, no, we don't have any more budget. So if you need extra tools, if you need extra hands on deck, if you need your design team to come up with some really great marketing materials, if you require a little bit more wiggle room in terms of negotiation outside of the monetary piece, like maybe you can do something extra for your partner to help them launch the campaign by writing the content for them or something like that, maybe giving them a link back on your site. So you can also ask for what you need to get from point A to point B. But as Leanne said, yes, it does take education to get your C-suite to understand how much is possible through an affiliate program, especially when they're not able to increase budgets in order to drive sales.
All right. So bottom line, guys, is we all want to be better humans versus just robotic AMs. And I think you need to put yourself in you need to walk a mile in your affiliate shoes. You need to think like they do. You need to be asking more qualifying questions so that you can get out of the habit of being in the 7 deadly sins. And it's not a habit. It just happens naturally because this is the way that our jobs function. This is how we are expected to function as affiliate managers. You need to be a little bit prepared and give more visibility on what's working and what isn't. And you need to set clear outcomes with your partners. So making sure that you are very clear on what it is that you want every single partner to deliver in your program and why you want to be working with them and why you want to be spending the money that you want to be spending with them. And you need to treat your partners a little bit like an employee. So treat them with the respect that you would treat to somebody in your own team. And don't just think of them as traffic sources or suppliers to your business. Because in this industry, we do have to go deep and we do have to build relationships because your relationships do matter and they will follow you no matter what job you're in. Most of the affiliates that I speak to are people that I met in my first job almost 20 years ago. So they've hung around in the industry, they've grown their businesses just like I have, and they're still working with me 20 years later. So really get strategic about, if you are building a career in this industry, being cognizant of some of the things that you're going to go through as an affiliate manager in your career, and think about these 7 deadly sins and how to avoid them, because we've learned them over time and we're now sharing them with you. And the other thing is, as I said, affiliate marketing, it is complex. Okay, you don't get from point A to point B in one straight line. And many times you're going to be running several campaigns in order to get the value proposition out of the relationship that you've spent time building. So really listening to versus pitching at and prioritizing what's important in your affiliate program and what the KPIs are and the strategic goals are that you want your partners to meet is very, very important. The other thing is to ask for help when you really need it. It's, we're all learning on this job. We're all kind of gathering information from multiple different traffic sources around the industry and then implementing those things to always be continuing our own learning and development. And that's one of the reasons why Leanna and I come on this webinar once a month, is to actually share some of the stuff that we're learning too, in the hopes that it helps all of you. I don't know if there's any more questions, but we've only got a couple of minutes left. We've kept you for almost an hour, but I hope that you found that useful. And if you do have any questions, you can always reach out to us. You can message me on LinkedIn, message Leanna on LinkedIn. You can download the QR code on your screen now, which will give you a little free guide. You'll be able to book a 15-minute free strategy call if you're struggling with anything in your program, or even just request a mini audit. One of our team will come in, have a look at your program with fresh eyes, give you 4 or 5 points that you can optimize, and hopefully that will give you some insights if you get a little bit sight blind to what's happening in your own program, which is also something that happens. When you're looking at your own program constantly, all the time, every day, you get a little bit sight blind as to the things that other people will pick up when they get a fresh perspective. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you guys before we end this webinar, and we're really grateful for you spending your time with us, we hope that you found this useful, is do go and book your ticket to come and join us at the Amplify Summit on the 19th and 20th of March. This is a virtual live streamed event. It is broadcast to quite a lot of countries around the world. There's about 5,000 people that come to this event to learn from industry experts that we have curated from around the affiliate industry and across all verticals as well. So you'll pick up insights, trends, practical, tactical advice. There's a plethora of masterclasses that we're going to be putting on with some really interesting people. And tickets are just £49 for the on-demand, or free if you want to come and watch live. So get on to our website, go to afterversemedia.com, click on the Amplify button, and come and join us at this event and learn about how to actually speed wobble your affiliate program into 2024 and really get ahead of some of the latest industry trends and cool tools that are coming to market that are helping affiliate managers as well. We really want to keep you guys abreast of what's changing in the industry around us. That's it for today. It has been our pleasure to kind of be on here with you for almost an hour. We really hope that you have enjoyed this. Thank you, Leanna, for taking an hour out of your day too. I know you're super busy. It's been great to do this with you. I know we've both learned lots of lessons, especially in the last year as well. And we really look forward to seeing you guys again soon. So thanks for being with us.
Bye. Thank you.